Hey everyone, Andrig with Andrig's Aircooled technology. Wanted to make a quick product announcement. As of today, I am taking pre-orders for what was the original lightweight cooling fan that I sold. It's the straight radial blade design. I had replaced that with the dual inlet style fans. And of course, if you've been following along, I stopped selling those. At some point, those may come back. But having said that, in the meantime, it's better actually for me to bring back the original straight radial blade design lightweight cooling fan. I'm just going to call it Evolution 1 versus the Evolution 2. It's one-sided versus two-sided. And, it performed really well, and it never had any failures. I shouldn't say never, because before I introduced its own mounting system, there were some that failed. But it was due to how they were mounted using the original OEM mount for the original OEM fans. And once I designed kind of my own that, prevented those issues from happening, no one's ever had any failures since then. And of course, I replaced those fans a long time ago. Sold more, over 500 of those before I switched to the dual inlet style fans, and they just have been working great. And I had customers asking me about buying them anyway, even though I was selling the other ones, and because I had such great success with them, they were very reliable. And I had a customer tell me he'd been running it for more than 4 years, no problems at all. So based on that, and the problems that I had, and just not having a product in that space in the short term, since I already had the mold for those, I did make a slight tweak to the mold, and to improve the performance just a little bit. I can't do all the changes I'd like to the mold, but to make the product even a little bit better, because it's just too expensive. I just have to have a whole new mold with some of the changes I had in my mind that I wanted to do. So we made this a simple change. The mold has been being redone right now. It's in manufacturing, and they'll send me product as of the mid December. So roughly today's the 9th. So I was hearing today that I think they're going to be done with producing the first part of that on the 12th and shipping to me, so I should get it mid-December here, so just maybe another week. And that's the fans. Unfortunately, I didn't have any of the mounts left, because I obviously sold all those with the fans, and the manufacturing of the mounts, which are in process, won't really be complete until December 27th, I believe. So right now is the date. Hopefully they outperform and do that a little bit earlier. So in the meantime, what I'm doing is I'm bringing the product back, where you can purchase it as a pre-order. You buy now, and I'll ship in January, likely January, based on the dates that we have here for the mounting components, and you'll get those in January. And I'm reintroducing that at $99, which was the original price as well. That price will go up to $129 after I get inventory in and I fill those pre-orders. So if you want to get the cheaper price, $99 price, you can definitely do that by pre-ordering now, and then you'll get it shipped in January. And I'll have that price available all through until I get product to ship. So I won't turn that off pre-order until I have inventory in and can ship orders. And so keep that in mind. I think the message you'll get when you pre-order is like through December, but if for some reason it bleeds over into the first week of January where I still don't have inventory, we will keep the pre-orders going at the $99 price until I have inventory. So just letting you know that. They perform really well. Some people don't like the sound of them. That was one of the reasons I kind of started to design some other things. And some people love the sound because it gives kind of a high-pitched sound, especially at higher RPMs. And part of that is the airflow increase but part of it's just the fact that it's a straight radial blade design, and that's just the way it sounds. So it is louder, so depending on whether you like that or not, that may or may not be an issue, but generally speaking, they were bulletproof, and so we're going to bring back something that worked well, and I have future improvements that will come as well, utilizing variations of that design, since it was so good, and so effective for people, that will improve the performance even more. But that's probably mid next year in 2025 or so. So if you want something now that works really well, and of course if you combine that with my new velocity rings, you'll get really good performance because those work really well. So there's a set of products now you can put together. On top of that, I'm bringing back the complete cooling system, which I call the Evolution 2 cooling system. That is now just going to be branded as the Evolution 1 cooling system, and if I bring back a dual inlet fan version, which I'm hoping to do, it'll come back as Evolution 2 as well. So Evolution 1 being there's one air inlet versus two, and so you can get the fan shroud, which I was selling standalone, but you can get that with the straight radial blade Evolution 1 cooling fan, utilizing your existing backing plates, and of course the mounting system that comes with the fan. And so those are also available for pre-order, and those also have a $30 discount based on the fan being discounted, $30 that would go in the kit. So generally speaking, either way, if you get the whole thing or not, and the performance of that fan in my fan shroud will be higher than the performance that you get with an OEM fan in my fan shroud, which was already significantly high. So you're roughly 52% higher airflow with my fan shroud with the OEM fan, and that'll shoot very close to 60% with the Evolution 1 cooling fan instead of the OEM cooling fan. So, and that's an estimate right now because I don't have any fans to test with, but it's just based on previous data of testing. When I get the products in and I have some inventory to play with, I'll do some final testing there to round out that number and give a more exact number. But I think I'm conservative on my estimate. And of course, if you add the velocity ring to my fan shroud, I have a velocity ring for that fan shroud as well now. You're basically getting better than what I was getting with the dual inlet fan on my full cooling system if you get that whole package with a velocity ring. Of course, that with that velocity ring and the dual inlet fan, it'll be even higher. So generally speaking, I think everything's pointing in the right direction in terms of even better performance than what we've had in the past. But more importantly, rock solid reliability. You won't have to worry about a failure in your cooling system with this stuff because it's just been proven. So like I said, we might come back and revisit it. We're going to revisit dual inlet fans, and I'm working diligently on that, and hopefully they'll come maybe mid to late, end of second quarter, sometime in third quarter time frame to get those out. But in the meantime, these are great products, so I think you're going to be really happy with them, as long as you're not sensitive to the sound. So some people they didn't like it, and I can understand that, and it just depends on the the car you're running and what other sounds your engine makes, because some of the engines are just dominated by exhaust note. Even on dual tuberelle, either carbs or throttle bodies, just the air rushing into the engine and through the throttle bodies or carburetors actually makes quite a bit of noise. So it depends how you feel about that, and whether you've done anything to insulate the cabin from noise external or not, whether it will bother you. But a lot of people just love the sound. They're like, oh, I feel like I'm driving a turbo car. So that's not anything I can really account for or change really in the design. It's just the way it is in terms of that style of fan. So, But I appreciate the comments either way. And so it's available for pre-order now. If you go to andrigs.com, you'll see it on the front page there. You'll actually see both the cooling system and the fan kits by themselves. And you can order that. You pay now, but you'll pay $30 less for the fan and $30 less for the cooling system in general, which actually is significantly less expensive than the Evolution 2 cooling system, because those fans were significantly more expensive to produce. So that's all good news. I think generally speaking the prices are good considering where prices have been. I'm trying to keep these prices as low as I possibly can. So look for it there, pre-order. I already have a pre-order before I even made this video, which is great. Somebody was kind of watching and following and saw that, and appreciate that very, very much. And it, pre-ordering now actually helps me in terms of paying for the mold changes and that I made, and then future investment in even higher performing dual inlet fans. So I really appreciate the support, and it's been kind of a rough patch with not being able to sell these, and I apologize for anybody that had fan failures on the dual inlet fan products. So I still don't really fully understand why it's happened, but it's happening, and so we're just not comfortable selling those things. So I appreciate again the business, and look for that if you're interested. Go ahead and pre-order at the $99 price tag. Save yourself $30, and you'll get a good product that'll be bulletproof, that you won't have to be concerned about in terms of any failures, because they were rock solid, from the beginning. And all the support is greatly appreciated. So thanks, and we'll talk to you later. Bye bye.